But it's not a Star Wars Bonanza, is it?
No, but it's just for the YouTube. Right.
I thought you wasn't using YouTube no more.
Well, I can't use Facebook, can I, at the moment?
Oh, because you're banned.
until I get let back on. I'm not permanently, but I can't do any live stuff on there. So
the new establishment banned or you?
No, you should be theoretically. You would be able to do stuff. I can't. Stopwatch and start. And what else do I need to do? Wait for that and then stop. Right, it's struggling down here. Okay, I don't need that.
I think we've done a show last week. I can't remember now. Yeah, we did.
So I did do Chippendale. I must have done Chippendale last week.
18th. We've done a Sunday one. We've done it on a Sunday. So it's been nearly 2 weeks. Yeah, it's been put up. Okay. We had no listeners. We have no friends.
That's what I'm thinking. Facebook, because
maybe it's my watch that's causing the problem.
Right, here we go, and right, we're going live now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. Here we go. Woohoo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest, the sexiest, the finest edition of the world's greatest soon-to-be podcast. This is the Boys from Bossk, brought to you with a taste of Big Dave and CJ, as we go through some of the big entertainment stories, news, and information currently in the week. And so as we go ahead, we'll be taking you through to see what's going on. This week there's lots popping. We've got Obi-Wan being released. We've got Star Wars Celebration. And me and Dave are going on a big adventure to Comic-Con. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Boys from Bossk. Big Dave!
We've got Stranger Things, season 4's out as well.
Stranger Things, yes, indeed, is on there.
Stranger Danger.
It's a very exciting time to be a nerd this month, I think. Probably one of the greatest months of all time. I know, but it's just like I said, we've got Stranger Things. We got some Obi-Wan.
Top Gun 2.
Yeah.
Haven't watched it yet.
Top Gun 2, you've got Ms. Marvel. Yeah. You've got some movies coming out this month as well. You've got a fair few little things coming up. So yeah, it's a great time, man.
The Queen's going to have a jubilee, and we're going to have loads of days off.
Exciting time. So let's get through some of these stories. I figured to start with the bad news first. Ray Liotta. Now, Ray Liotta, whose most famous role was Henry Hill in Goodfellas, has passed away at the young age of 67.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I know that may not mean much to some of you youngers out there, but Henry Hill in Goodfellas was one of the greatest movie characters ever created, I think, and one of the best films of that time, because that was what, the 90s Goodfellas came out?
1990, I think it was.
Yeah, one of the best films of the 90s. That one was one of the first appearances of Samuel L. Jackson as well. It had De Niro. It had
Joe
Pesci, and a meaty cast, and one of the best gangster films, if not the best gangster film ever. I think even personally better and more enjoyable than Godfather. The Godfather.
No, Casino's better, I think.
I was never
Goodfellas up there, though. Once Upon a Time America's good. There's quite a lot. You
Mm.
can't just put it on the pedestal by itself, but it is a good film.
But yeah, he's passed away.
One of the
He died in
greats.
the Dominican Republic. And if you ever get a chance, like I said, catch him Goodfellas. He didn't have, he started a lot of films, but I think Goodfellas was a peak for him.
I think that was my first DVD. Because I remember you had to turn it over halfway because it was so long.
And the DVDs didn't have that much memory on them back then, did they?
You had to turn them over, yeah.
He didn't have an illustrious career, but he did some memorable roles. I think more recently he started having a bit of a comeback, which is why I'm surprised that
he's done Wild Hogs.
Yeah, that wasn't a massive hit.
It was a massive hit. It was huge.
That was a big film.
Yeah, it was. It was for the bikers.
For the old men bikers.
Yeah.
But I keep getting you're a big bike man yourself. So you're like, that's top draw for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tragic passing away. If you can, like I said, get a shot, go try out Goodfellas, which is probably his best role. I know you mentioned he was in the Saints of Newark, which is the prequel to Sopranos, which again I don't think it did that well in terms of reviews. But if you're a Soprano completionist, rock it, because it's got his son plays him, doesn't he?
No, that was the actual guy from Sopranos. The guy that died. Yeah, that was his son. Yeah.
Yeah, his son's in it. That's what I mean. It was like, oh wow, that's his actual kid. That must have felt a bit spooky. Don't know if I could do that, but that's happened. Next story is going to be a short story, but I thought I'd mention it anyway. Kevin Spacey, like a ghost of Christmas past.
Well, we weren't mentioning him.
Well, if you could mention him quickly, because he was in one of
just because his ass fell off,
He's actually in trouble in the UK now. He did manage, I think, to get most of the legal actions against him in the states dismissed, except for the one against, I think, Robert Stamp, the guy who's in Star Trek Discovery.
The one that killed himself.
No. He's the one who plays the Doctor in Star Trek Discovery. No, the head engineer, actually. I keep forgetting that. But he's facing 3 charges in the UK now of assault. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with those, especially celebrity court cases these days. Never go the way you expect them to, as we've seen with Depp and Amber.
But that went the way everyone wants it to go to.
Well, I know people are just taking sides, and I just think it's 2 sad people, really.
I think I'm actually intrigued with this. I actually sat there for 2.5 hours watching it the other day.
Really? I can't bring myself to.
I had to do it.
I'm a massive Johnny Depp fan, but at the same time, I don't like. It's very easy to get drawn to that sort of thing and take sides, and nobody knows what the true truth is. But
I know what the true truth is. She's batshit crazy.
Again, allegedly. Don't sue us, Amber, please.
No, there's proof that she's batshit crazy.
Don't sue. We'll sue Dave. Don't
sue me all you want. There's the fact that she's had split personality disorder. So
anyway, moving swiftly on, as you do. ABBA, everybody's mother's favorite band. I don't know. Were you ever a big ABBA fan, Dave?
I love ABBA.
Right, so ABBA, all 4 members have reunited, but they're coming to do their Voyage concert. Did you get that album? It came out recently, or did the mama, or did any of your family?
I thought they were all coming back as holograms.
Well, no, they're doing a big tour with holograms and stuff. It's going to be like,
Yeah, they're not actually
Thank You for the Music 2000. Thank you for the music. With some drum and bass. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming. Otherwise, it's just going to be a money grab. But we'll see how that goes. They're going to
they should just let them pass on all that stuff. They've had their time.
Well, they're having a concert in the Olympic Park. It will feature the avatars of the 4 stars alongside a live band playing their greatest hits.
Oh, it'd be a good day out, I reckon. People getting drunk and just dancing to ABBA.
Yeah, but you know what ABBA audiences are like? There'll be people throwing their niggas on the stage and all sorts.
I went to an 80s revival thing a couple of years back, and it was probably one of the best days I went to. It had all the old 80s bands and stuff. It's really good.
Anyway, sorry. The 80s.
Bucks Fizz was there. There's only 2 of them left.
I just, yeah, I just think at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I don't know anything about it. I know a lot of friends love a bit of the Abba, and they'll be watching that or whatever, but it's never been my cup of tea. But yeah, they'll be reuniting for the tour. I don't know how well the tour's been doing. I assume it's sold out. Most 80s British music was usually a rip-off of one of their songs at least once a year. I don't think there was
90s and the early 2000s rip-off
like
all their
somebody
songs.
ripped off one of their songs at some point in the year, and I'm sure that continues for the case. So you'll know at least some of their songs, even if you don't remember them singing them. But that's the next one.
Definitely on an advert.
Moving on, as you do, the She-Hulk trailer was released this week, and I liked it. I thought it looked pretty cool. It looks very much like the comic book. So she's angry, strong, and incredibly sexy. And I think everybody's generally looking forward to that. Have you seen the trailer, Dave?
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Have you seen the reactions online?
No, I don't.
A lot of people weren't happy
That's
with the
your
CGI.
job.
A lot of people weren't happy with the CGI, but I think it looked fine.
But it's the same CGI as the Hulk, so.
I think because it looks really, really different on her, and the episode is actually called She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, so it'll follow quite tightly. I heard rumor we'll see.
I was waiting for some like Law and Order on the end of it.
Well, who knows? One thing about She-Hulk, which people forget, is She-Hulk did what Deadpool did before Deadpool did it, which she was famous for breaking the fourth wall and speaking directly to the audience. And she was fully aware the audience were there. But I don't know if they're going to do that with this. It stars Tatiana Masley, who was in Orphan Black, which, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the most underrated sci-fi shows of all time. And it's got Jamila Jamil, who was in The Good Place. Did you ever watch Good Place, Dave? On Netflix?
Is that the one with Ted Danson?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 seasons.
That was one of my favourite shows. And
it was on Channel 4 before then.
Was it?
It
was one of my favourite shows.
I used to watch it on Channel 4.
Okay. And that came to an end. And Tim Roth returns as the Abomination as well. So it's got a packed cast. I mean, Mark Ruffalo's in it. Benedict Wong, who's also plays Wong.
Wong is on everything, isn't he? He's like the cameo man. He's the new Stan Lee.
Yeah, he is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, he's the new Stan Lee. He just pops up everywhere.
And so, like I said, hopefully we're going to get a little taste of Matt Murdock in it as well. So that will definitely be interesting.
Because he's an attorney at law.
Yes, indeed. And so that's going to be a big hit for us. Now, this week is a big week in terms of nerddom because you've got Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim. You've got Comic-Con. And like I said, you've got Obi-Wan coming out. Are you still excited for Obi-Wan, Davis? Tomorrow morning we get our first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan. What will you be looking for?
I'm not sure.
Well, what would get you excited? What do you think will get you, like, what do you want to see? Or what don't you want to see? What's the thing that's going to annoy me?
What I don't want to see is actually going to be in it, so...
What's that?
The really bad Inquisitor.
You don't like his big head, do you? You think his head's
I think it's the fact that the guy came out and said he's never watched Rebels, he doesn't know anything about the character, and it's like, come on, man. He's never read the comic books. It's like, if you're going to be something in Star Wars, do some background. I think he said
he'd never read it before he done it, picked it up.
Yeah, but he said he's never even watched Rebels. He doesn't even know what the character acted like in Rebels. So it's like, it's going to be a completely different... I'm not going to knock it. I haven't seen it.
You're allowed to knock it. You're allowed to express your concerns, Dave. And you know what? That's a legit.
I've expressed my concerns ages ago when they brought bloody Hayden Christensen back.
Leave Hayden alone. You're allowed to express your concerns. At the end of the day, I think the Inquisitor, that's a better response that you gave than what a lot of the fans are giving. Is that his head looks big. Like the size of his head. He's got a big head.
I think it's when you've seen it in the cartoon to what he looks like now, he does look really big proportioned. Yeah.
Well, yeah, true, but animation's animation. Do you know what I mean? And I think you can't.
But he looked really tall in Rebels, and this one he doesn't look that tall.
Yeah, but it's again animation. I never hold. It's like when people complain about comic.
Yeah, but Chewbacca's always going to be 7 foot or tall. So why can't they make the person that is that height?
We'll see when it happens. He looked pretty tall in the last trailer I saw. But
We'll
you've
see.
only watched the first one, so I think
Well, I said I
agree.
didn't want to watch no trailers. I just don't want to get disappointed. And I don't want to get excited.
I get you. But yeah, I just figured I'd
this time next week I could be like clicking my heels together and just jumping for joy with fist pumping. Say, Hayden Christian, you've made it. You're actually a good actor at last.
I can't wait for Saturday. It's just so Dave, what do you think of Obi-Wan? Dave throws me out of the passenger car on the way to Excel. Like, guys, go away. No, Dave, I didn't make it. Now, what else is there? Right, so Star Wars Celebration is in Anaheim, and before we do the reviews, there's been already there's been lots of news coming out of there. So, shall we start at the top, Dave? Start the news.
We can start at the top. Oh, we can start when you went to Star Wars Celebration back in 2016. How did you feel about it then? When Rogue One first came out.
Was that actually Celebration we went to?
Yeah, we went to the European one.
Yeah,
it was the European one.
It was a big money grab. And when I went there, it was like I got to see Carrie Fisher from a distance, which was fun.
She was on the big TV above our head.
Yeah. I met loads of fans, which was really, really nice. And these are nice events.
And they had all the new outfits for Rogue One that hadn't been released yet. That was pretty cool.
What I may do on Saturdays try and go to some of the one or two of the talks or shows they put on, and see about producing and see if there's anything I could garner from them. But it's gonna be an interesting day. Just I think there'll be less people than normal. Because even though COVID rules are gone, they're not completely gone, I think.
Well, Saturday sold out for Comic-Con, so
yeah. So I think there's a limited amount of people going to what they've normally had. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And I'm not queuing up at any toilets for half an hour. So I'm taking a very big bottle with me. And no, I'm kidding. I haven't done a Comic-Con in ages. So it's going to be interesting to see.
This will be my first Comic-Con.
Your first? No, we went to one before. Film and TV. We've done a film and TV before.
No. This is my first one. You went with Phil.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it goes because I'm just very aware of the fact that it's a lot of walking. And there's always something to buy. And we now got no money. So it's going to be interesting to see what's there to be gotten. I haven't seen many lists of who's going to be there in terms of celebs. Have you seen any?
I kind of did. Only Rufio. He's going to be there.
Rufio?
From Hook. No?
Yeah, that's the other thing about Comic-Con. It gets really... You meet famous people, then it depends how much of a fan you are of certain things, I guess. I assume they'll have all the Doctor Who lot out there on Saturday, especially.
There's all like wrestlers and there's loads of different people.
Yeah, there were lots of wrestlers. So. I think I saw something with lots of wrestlers on there. Yeah. So if you're into WWE or whatever, you're gonna get your bucket full tomorrow. Now, also coming out from Anaheim, Star Wars Celebration I want to go to at some point, right? Because it just seems to be the coolest place in the world.
We've done that.
Anaheim. I know, but I want to do it again. So they've just announced a new show already, and I knew they were going to I thought they were going to make a big announcement on May the 4th, but they've actually saved the announcements for now. And one of the big announcements is a show called Skeleton Crew. Now, they haven't said much about it, except it's going to star Jude Law, a man who seems to be a favourite of...
Oh, so it's going to be live action?
Yeah, it's going to be a live action show as far as I can tell. I mean, I don't have... Yeah, it's a live action series. So it just doesn't... All it says is Skeleton Crew, But the details about the Disney series from Spider-Man No Way Home director were just announced at Star Wars Celebration. Now we have more details, including the title, Star Wars Skeleton Crew, and a headline for Jude Law. As reported from today's Anaheim, will be Star Wars Skeleton Crew will be about seeing the galaxy for far, far away from a new point of view through the eyes of children. But important distinction, it's not a kid's show, even though it stars kids. The story will follow a group of children around 10 years old from a small planet who get lost in the galaxy and are trying to find their way home. Watts explained to the crowd that
it sounds like a Caravan of Courage.
Yeah, will take place during the same time period as the Mandalorian and the up-and-coming Ahsoka series. That sounds too much like Star Trek
the
Prodigy.
The missing Padawans.
Yeah, also Star Trek Prodigy as well. That's really weird that they go for a show like that. But why they felt the need to say it's not a kid's show, I don't get. It's Star Wars.
In other words, it's got loads of young children in it.
This is what I don't get about Star Wars fans, right? Star Wars is a kids franchise, right? I know we've all grown up with it, but it's a children's franchise. And Star Wars fans seem to hate anything that involves children. So do you remember when Rebels first started? And everybody was hating on it because like, it's a kids show. It's about kids. And
it's like, on Disney.
It's on Disney. You know, it's always been a kids franchise. I know it's sometimes got themes, but here's a story about prince and princesses and stuff. It's not like, you know, and when they gave you the adult stuff, you hated it. You know what I mean? When they gave you the adult themes, you despised it. You've never liked the latest trilogy they did, and the prequels. Dave won't forgive him for Hayden, so I don't get why. I don't. Oh, Dave. Really
no, I'm just
like
thinking
Hayden,
of the prequels. I'm just thinking of the prequels. Yeah, the first one. The first one was very bad.
Yeah, I'm surprised
the second one was
Jude
bad
because Jude Law's already the man in Harry Potter. So now he's going to get a TV show. So that should be interesting. I don't know what the character of Jude Law will be, but I guess he'll be a
protector of some sort, a wizard,
and
maybe he's going to be Kanan.
Who knows? I mean, even with Trey, it looks like it's going to be really, really big. And I forgot to mention also Ms. Marvel's coming this month as well. I think, is it this month or next month? Next month. It's coming, so that's going to be in the same sort.
It's released on my birthday.
Again, that show's had a lot of controversy. They've changed Miss Marvel from the comic book. She was sort of like a Mr. Fantastic in the comic books. She was also Inhuman in the comic books, but we saw what happened to the Inhumans in that really bad TV show. And
in Doctor Strange, we saw what happened to the Inhumans.
So they've changed her powers up a bit, which has annoyed supposedly some fans, or just given us people an excuse to moan. But she's going to have a slightly different power set, and again, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
So is this going to link up with Miss Marvel 2, whether it is?
Yes,
Captain Marvel
should.
2.
I would have thought it'll lead straight into Captain Marvel, because I assume she's going to meet Captain Marvel at some point.
Well, she's obviously going to be in the show at one point or another, isn't she?
And Brie Larson, who's doing her best to try and get the fans on side, will definitely be looking forward to that, I'm sure. But yeah, it's all happening there. So you've got the Skeleton Crew coming out. They've also dropped, I think, the first image for Indiana Jones 5. And Indiana Jones 5, it's sort of reminding me of the last Terminator film, when they tried to say, yeah, we got the entire team back together for Terminator. I was like, Arnold's been in every single Terminator film, right? Every single Terminator film. He's not been in a Terminator film. So why are they making a big deal about him being in the Terminator film? And they got the whole crew back together from the... I think
he had a family this time, didn't he? If I remember right.
Yeah, and some ridiculous storyline about how the Chosen One got shot, and now it's a lesbian who's come back in time to save the father of the... Anyway, I don't...
John Connor's dead.
Yeah.
And all that crap, yeah.
It just got stupid from there on in, and it's I'm getting those vibes, Dave. What sort of vibe are you getting? Because especially since they mentioned time travel, how are you feeling about Indy 5?
I don't know. I watched all the Indiana Joneses last year because I never actually sat there and watched them all before properly.
Okay, all of them.
Yeah.
And what's your honest take on the last one?
Is that the one with Shia LaBeouf?
Let the hate go. What was your honest take of the last one?
I actually didn't mind the film.
Okay.
I thought it was quite good, apart from the skulls being related to Alien and Predator and all that crap.
Fair. Do you know what, Dave? I wasn't expecting that. I honestly wasn't expecting that answer. And it's just every time you do stuff like that, it just makes me think you're the better man in this.
But then Shia LaBeouf's bike was so modern, it couldn't have been a 50s motorcycle.
Because you're a bike man and you noticed that shit. Do you think there was so much hate for that film? I remember watching South Park and the episode where basically they have Spielberg and George Lucas rape.
I actually thought it was better than the one with Sean Connery. I didn't like that one.
You are one of the very few people that didn't like that one. But do you know what? Credit to you. I can't remember how I felt at the time about it, but I think, you know what? Good on them. I think it'll be interesting to see where this goes now. But yeah, they just released a clip. You can't see much in not a clip, but an image from Indy 5, and all you see is a little clip of Indy on a bridge somewhere, looking very serious.
I don't know. I just think it's one of those things. It's past its sell-by date, and they had to re-modernize it, but you don't do it with the same cast.
Well, they did. They've got Phoebe Waller, who you'll remember was
in the second one.
No, she was in the. Phoebe Waller was in that TV show. I forgot what she.
I thought they brought the woman back from the second one as well.
No, I don't know.
Temple of Doom.
She's not in the cast I've got here. She's most famous for the BBC sitcom. What was it called? Fleabag. That was it. Did you ever watch Fleabag?
No.
Right. Hold on, audience. Bear with me a second here, Dave. I do not like to recommend shows that have been out for a while, right? Because it's like I'll go back in time, whatever, right?
But, bit like Indiana Jones.
I just say no. Just hear me out, right? It's on BBC iPlayer, and I think it's on Netflix or Amazon. Watch Fleabag. All right, just put it on your list. Clear some time from your schedule. Sit down, go watch Fleabag, and I guarantee you, in my point of view, you will not be disappointed. And if I get it wrong, okay, I'll buy.
You said this about The Expanse, right?
Yeah, but The Expanse was too highbrow for you. The Fleabag.
Oh, right. So you thought, I've set him off big. I'll go really low now.
No, I think I think you'll appreciate the humor, and I think it works quite well as a sort of comedy drama. At least watch the first couple of episodes and let me know what you think. It's got a few good gut punches in there. So I would say watch it and let me know what you think. But watch it because Phoebe Waller, she was the new hot thing for TV and film. So she's going to be playing alongside Harrison, Mads Mikkelsen, Antonio Banderas, Boyd Hollywood, Charlotte Renee, and Thomas Kretschmann. They're all in the new Indiana Jones film. And I can't see Toby Jones makes an appearance. And yeah, so I don't know. The woman from Indiana Jones 2 might be from it. But then they should have brought back half round.
Short round.
Is it short round? They should have brought back short round as well, because that would have been nice.
Oh, I know who she is. She's quite funny.
Yeah. Yeah, watch Fleabag. I can't believe you haven't seen Fleabag. That was the show everybody was talking about last year. But it did come out before we started doing the podcast.
But it's different because you have friends. I don't have people to talk to.
You talk to me.
I'm a loner.
Me and you converse, don't we?
Yeah, but you did say, hey, man, look, you need to watch Fleabag.
Hey Dave, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
You
need
gotta
to
watch the
Fleabag.
show, dude.
No, you go. Hey, man, you gotta watch Mandalorian. It's great.
No, because you hate my film suggestions. You and Mike have not stopped cursing me for even mentioning The Expanse. Right, what else have we got for you? Right, so Willow. Again,
No, say it right.
Willow.
Willow.
A film that came out in the, I think it was
80s.
late 80s, very late 80s.
No, it was mid 80s.
Really? I'm sure it was the
Yeah,
late 80s.
must have, no, I was in primary school when Willow came out. I reckon about 86, I reckon.
No, 1988, bro.
Yeah, so 86 is close.
Anyway, so late 80s, Willow came out. And
well, I was still in primary school. There you go.
It wasn't a big film. It
was
really
massive.
It was not at the time.
I went cinema to see that.
I know, but I think as far as I remember, it flopped quite hard. It didn't get good reviews.
That's a wicked film.
No, honest, Dave, I'm not lying. I'm pretty sure it just broke even. We'll check on Box of Mojo just to make sure. But it's now getting a sequel series, and they've brought back. I think they're bringing back most of the original cast.
Well, Val Kilmer can't act no more. He was like the big star. No, he can't. He's got throat cancer. He can't talk, can he?
Can he? He's in Top Gun, isn't he?
Yeah, it's all superimposed though, isn't it?
I thought he had a talking role in Top Gun.
He can't talk.
How comes I don't know about how comes I don't know about this?
He had throat cancer.
How comes I don't know about this?
I don't know. You're weirdo.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's getting a new series. It's coming out, I think, next year or this year. I don't know. Christmas time. Now, what's strange about Willow is I used to really love Willow. I thought it was a great story, and I watched it recently.
Do you know what Willow reminds me of?
What's that?
The Hobbit.
Well, yeah, I think it's a Hobbit.
Because it was like the Archer, and it was a fantasy drama, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was a wizard and training. That was shit.
The special effects don't hold up, but the story is quite good. And no, the special effects are terrible. But
so watching ET, have you watched the special effects of that now? It's bad.
Watching it, there were books that were released that were sequels, right? Which were like Willow's not Willow anymore. He's called Drumheller, and that was released by Chris Claremont and George Lucas. Never finished them. Two of the most boring books I've ever read in my life. So I'm quite intrigued to see what happens with this film. It doesn't actually have any of the original cast apart from Warwick Davis. So it's all new cast.
It's a TV show. It's not a film.
I know, but they could have dug some of them up. You know, they were all quite young when they did that.
No, they weren't. I think they literally have to quite dig some of them up now.
Well, it's just nice to see Warwick Davis always working. I think he's a bit of a hero. You'll notice Erin Kellyman. She was in not Rogue One, Solo. The Solo story that they did, which flopped hard.
I really like that. I really like that film.
She was the masked woman.
Oh, she was the ginger girl.
Yeah. She's going to be in it, and the rest of the cast. I think Tony Revoloni, you'll recognize when you see him, but his name you don't recognize. But you'll recognize him as being Peter Parker's frenemy in the latest Spider-Man films. So so it's got quite a young cast, quite a cool cast, I like to think, by the looks of it. And that's been the first trailer for that has dropped, which I haven't watched yet, but we'll watch. I will definitely be watching after the show. And you've got the trailer and the announcement for Andor, so you get a full trailer today. And Star Wars Celebration only started today, and it's going on till Sunday. So there's probably a lot more announcements to come. But Andor's trailer, I think, was released as well today. But we've been told that the series final. So I believe I've been told it's 2 seasons, and the second season will lead straight into Rogue One. So it's gonna be, I think, quite an exciting series by the looks of it. I do hope, and I don't know, I know Dave probably you not minded too much, but I do hope we've only got one series with a female lead so far in this new age of Star Wars. I hope we do get some more female leads in the Star Wars series moving forward, because it'd be quite cool to see just a little bit more. I don't want to use diversity, but different stories in there. We've already got 2 series with 2 helmet heads. You've got Mandalorian and Boba Fett. Both Mandalorians, or not Mandalorians, depending on how you see them, and they've both got their shows. We've got Andor, we've got Obi-Wan, and we've only got one female lead, which is Ashoka. It would be nice to see something different coming out as well from Lucasfilm. But again, this weekend's looking fantastic. Andor, Dave, are you excited about Andor at all?
If it's anything like Rogue One, it could be amazing. Because I think that was probably one of the best spin-off Star Wars films they ever made.
Yeah.
You know, they've made a few in the past, from the early 80s to now, and that was the best one. I actually went to the cinema twice to watch that.
Really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I think it was a nice cross.
It was a proper. It was the bit that you needed, because number 4 finished so badly, and number 4, you was like, "What's going on?" So
I think it was the most adult of all the Star Wars films I'd seen. It was the most adult of all the Star Wars films I'd seen, and also it was the most. The ending was just so different from anything else. You know what I mean? Like the heroes,
because they all died.
Yeah, it was just so.
There was no hero.
I think they could have done with a kiss at the end. It would have been nice.
There was just no hero. That's what I liked about it.
But then you got to see Vader, and that sort of, I don't know, loads of nerds jizz themselves. So the moment they saw that lightsaber, hello. But yeah, I think we'll be getting a lot more lightsaber action in this Obi-Wan series. So I'm just so excited at the moment. I'm looking forward to all of this coming out. But and also so you're looking forward to it as long as
I'm actually looking more forward to this than Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, interesting sentiment. Right, so I guess we've done all the news we've got so far. There's going to be plenty of news coming out, boys and girls, all over the weekend. I know Mandalorian season 3 is coming out early 2023.
So what's coming out over Christmas then? That's when
I think we'll find out over the next couple of days. Like I said, there's no.
Well, that's when that normally comes out, isn't it? December. So
I think we'll find out in the next couple of days. I think you're going to see a lot more other shows announced. You'll probably see a Christmas special, I would say, at a guess.
No, Christmas special is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, but for Lucasfilm will do their own thing.
No. They've had 2 now, haven't they?
Yeah, they usually do a Lego thing, don't they? But we'll see what happens. It's exciting times. Oh, I did see a poster for Creed 3.
Oh wow!
And
can't wait for that one.
Michael B. Jordan's looking hench. Well, I'm thinking he's going to be fighting a relation to Clubber Lang at this point, because he's done Drago,
and Hulk Hogan's nephew will come in as well. Yeah. And then they get to number 5, and they'll have to fight Tommy Gunn's son.
Yeah, or maybe he'll just go off on his own route. I like the first Creed. I was all right with the second one.
I think he should just go off and play Killmonger again and just leave that franchise.
Why? I quite liked it. You don't like Creed at all?
It's the same story. It's rubbish. I don't think Rocky's in this one though, is he? Thank God.
I know you can feel it, Dave.
No. I'd rather watch Expendables,
which is coming out again. I think next year.
Yes, it's the last one though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad thing. Let's face it. After
they're going to call it Expendables forever.
After watching the last Rambo film,
forever expended.
Stopped. Really, to be quite honest. Right. What else is there? Right, so from the screen to the couch, the reviews of Dave and CJ. So we just gathered a few things that watch, which we will suggest that you watch as well at some point or not. First of those is just my mini review of Wu-Tang. I've watched the first episode of that. It's called the Wu-Tang in America Saga. It's surprisingly on Disney Plus, and surprisingly, so far, quite good. It is long, so it's not. It's easing you into the story, but it's like a mix of Sopranos and.
So does it start off with them in Queens at the beginning of their story, or
yeah, it starts at the beginning.
Okay.
It's all about the crime and the blood feud.
how they met up? Okay.
And about
How
the general brutality of what they were going through, I think. But it'll be interesting to see where it goes, because already you can see hints of the music coming through. And yeah, I've enjoyed it so far. I've only watched the first episode because I haven't had time to watch all of it. But I think I've put it on my list, and I'm quite happy it's there.
Yeah, it's on my list. I just haven't got around to watching it yet.
Yeah, I think it's well worth the watch. But like I said, it is
because they are one of the world's best rap groups ever. So
it's got a lot more in common with Sopranos in terms of pace. So if you're just looking for a half hour bang bang bang, this isn't the show for you. If you're willing to clear the schedule, sit down and watch it for an hour, I think.
So is it like a proper program, or is it like a documentary telling
episodes? No, okay. 10 episodes, and it's following. Like I said, I don't know all their names to my shame, but it's following the main character.
Ghostface Killer, Raekwon, Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man.
Who's the mixer? Out of a lot of them, because it's following that character, the one who had the decks and was doing all the tunes.
Oh, I can see his face now.
Let me woo.
Oh, it was the tall guy. What's his name? There was loads of them.
American Saga. Stick Saunders.
It's the one that does all the martial arts films.
It looks. No, not him. I can already tell who he is. It's not him, but I get what you mean.
Which one is it then? Inspector Deck.
Divine Diggs. Do you know, I'll watch it. I'll finish watching it and then I'll let you know.
I'll watch it and I'll let you know because I know them.
But yeah, I think it's well worth the watch, and it should be. I'm surprised they haven't done a lot more promotion of this show, because I think it's really, really good. I think it holds up pretty well. I'm surprised they haven't promoted it more. I guess because it's hip hop and R&B in the UK as well. I think when Wu-Tang were big, they weren't playing so much hip hop on in British radio and stuff like that.
Well, their lyrics didn't help.
Yeah, no, definitely didn't help. But
you couldn't play their songs on the radio apart from bloody Gravel Pit, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's well worth a watch. Next up, Love, Death and Robots. The second season dropped last week. It's all right. You know, people make a big fuss of it. Some people love it. Some people don't. I don't think the storytelling is that good. I don't think the storytelling is that spectacular for most of them.
Is this anime?
No, it's a mixture. Some of them are animation. Some of them are stop motion. They're all various different styles of animation. Some of them look absolutely stunning. I mean,
so they're like Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars Visions, but the stories can go anywhere. Like the opening story is 3 robots, and they basically go around and find out why humanity didn't survive. Another one's about a bunch of soldiers in the middle of a jungle who get killed mysteriously by a spirit. Another one, just the stories are so random, but they always involve an element of death or robots or love or robots or death and aliens. So it's quite it's quite an interesting anthology. It's definitely worth watching if you got the time. But personally, for me, I don't think the storytelling's particularly that great in any way, shape, or form. But worth watching. Supernature, Ricky Gervais. I tried watching it. I know there's a lot of fans out there of Ricky Gervais. I'm not one of them. I've never particularly been into The Office. Never been into extras so much.
I've never really liked anything.
And the reason why I struggle with Supernature is somebody always told me if you have to explain your jokes, they're not funny. All Ricky Gervais does for the first 20 minutes of his show, which I watched, is explain his jokes. Like nobody understands what sarcasm is. And I'm just like, you know what?
Was he in America though when he done this show?
No, he was in the UK. It was a British audience.
Really?
I get it. You know, trans people, ha 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 ha. But you're not Dave Chappelle for starters, one. And two, I don't know what your point was. Like, congratulations, you now ripped the piss out of trans people that bit more. I know people find the subject difficult or whatever, but if you don't understand it, mind your business. It's got nothing to do with you. And Ricky Gervais should know better. Fine, he's done it. His audience seem to love it. I know there's a lot of people out there that love his humor. I don't get it. I've tried. I've honestly tried. But I keep saying, if you have to explain your jokes, and the guy spends 20 minutes of his show explaining his joke and why his joke should be considered funny, I don't get that. I really, really don't get that. But it's on.
The only thing I've ever liked that is that Moment of Life with Carl Pilkington.
Yeah.
But then he was an arsehole to Carl Pilkington, so it was like you're just a bully, really.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. But you know what? He's the #1 comedian in the UK. He's done a lot more films than Dave Chappelle has. Good for him. But it's not my cup of tea. Now, on to our next review. I have asked Dave to watch this series so many times. Okay. I stopped asking him to watch it after I asked him to watch The Expanse, and he's thrown that back in my face every single time since. But finally, the big Dave sat down and watched The Last Kingdom. So I'm going to stop talking. Hold on. I'm going to stop talking. Dave, hit me. What do you think of The Last Kingdom?
It's okay. I don't mind it. It's I had to finish Vikings first, and now I'm getting the other side of the story of Vikings, basically, where he's an inbred. Where have you gone?
Yeah, just
You just want me to rabble on by myself?
Well, I want you to explain what you thought of The Last Kingdom.
I just, well, he's a Saxon that's been brought up the Danish way.
A Saxon that was kidnapped.
Yeah, and he lost his faith and went rogue, basically. No, it's good. I'm only one season in. I can see it getting very repetitive straight away. But there's 5 seasons of it, so I will plunder away and then probably get bored in season 3 and then come back to it in a couple of years' time.
Okay, well, look, if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. It's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it actually started on BBC, but I think
it was on BBC too.
It might have been a totally
but it literally came out at the same time as
show.
Vikings, and this is like the tame version. There's no gore or anything like that, really. So
not much gore and stuff. But
you don't see. It's not violent. There's no real. I don't know. It was like the cheap version where everyone had Fox money. This had BBC money. It was like the Doctor Who, you know. It's like, here's your budget.
They do end up with more money as the series goes on, and I think it pays off with this show. It did come out at the same time as Vikings, and I think it suffered from being compared to Vikings.
That's why I didn't watch it, because I did try and watch it originally, the first series, and I thought this is boring compared to the other one.
It's based on a book, I think, by Brian. What was his right name? It's based up by a set of books, and I think we're still due to get a film finale for this series at some point.
Oh, what? That's it now?
Yeah, the 5th season happened, and then we'll get the movie at some point. Okay. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's got a absolutely superb cast, and I just love the way Alexandra Draymond, who plays Uhtred. I just love the way my name's Uhtred. I just love the way he talks in this. And it's like, that's not how my father would like. And
it's just a massive revenge story, isn't it?
It is, but the revenge sort of becomes less important in the drama than the actual drama that takes place throughout the
And he always seems to have
series.
a new wife.
Yeah, a lot of women come his way, but he's Viking. I mean, the Vikings are different.
No, but he gets married, never gets divorced. They either get killed or
kidnapped,
or disappear back to the church.
He will get his love in the end. He will. Well, does he? Ooh, I don't remember. Well, he has lots of adventures getting where he needs to get, but it just goes to show at the end of the day that it's just really good storytelling, and it's nicely done in the sense that I think the book set it up so he's seen very much as a character that's never written about in history books, but he's the reason why everybody.
And how comes he always gets his arse saved at the last second?
Because he's Utrecht.
No, but it's literally just about to have his eye taken out. Oh, we've got your back, buddy.
Because he's
just about to get murdered. Oh, we got your back, buddy. It's like, come on, man.
He's
literally last second saviors all the time.
He's a good fighter.
And they always know where he is because there was no phones or anything back then.
Well, he's here. Hides. he never hides.
And he seems to have the whole world on his back. Everyone's after him. Everyone wants to kill him.
Well, he's stuck between two worlds, isn't he? Because he's been brought up a Viking, but he's an Englishman. Isn't he?
I think it's his attitude as well. He just doesn't give a shit. He'll tell him what's what, even the kings.
Just when they go, choose your words carefully, Utrecht.
I don't care who you are.
Of House Battenberg. Choose your words carefully, Dane. No, I absolutely love this series, and I'm surprised how much I enjoyed it because it was very, like you said, Dave. It was very much like Vikings. And
I literally binge watched a whole season yesterday.
Yeah,
it's only eight episodes, so but still 8 hours.
I think you'll enjoy it. But yeah, let me know what you think in the long run. I finally finished the final season of Vikings, and I have to say. The last couple of episodes were actually quite good. Getting to the last couple of episodes was hard.
Yeah, all that Ivor stuff was really hard.
Yeah, it was just hard getting to the last few episodes. But once it gets there, woo! It were good times we had. And I have to say, is it Bjorn?
Bjorn's the man.
He goes out like a pro, bruv. And I had to give him credit for that because it was.
Yeah.
Joey,
he went out like a true champ.
He came into the third season.
No, he was in the first season.
No, he wasn't because as a kid they changed him.
I suppose he was growing up. Yeah.
Yeah, his character was a little kid.
Yeah.
And I think by the second or third season is when he came in, and he's then.
But he was in the last Bad Boys film, and he was huge in that.
Yeah, and he's doing the wrestling one, or with
Hills. He done, didn't he? Hills, yeah.
He's currently.
I didn't think that was quite. I didn't like that.
Hey, bro, this is how you do it, man. They're looking at me.
Yeah.
But he's doing really, really well. Showing that people love a Viking. I think he's doing well out of everybody in Vikings. At the moment.
Well, Lagerford's in Big Sky, ain't she?
Yeah, but
and she'd done a few TV shows before that, like Law and Order and stuff.
No, she did. What was the martial arts one?
Oh, the Sanchi. It was something of the Rings. One on Netflix that failed after a season. Woo Assassins.
Yeah.
I like that though.
I was all right with it. And what is it? Yeah, so they've done all right. I think that cast did really well. It would be really cool to see how far they go. Travis Fimmel, Ragnar.
I think he's lost the plot with that space thing by Ridley Scott.
Which one's that?
That one with the androids that give birth.
Oh, he's doing that series, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he must be well.
And he also done that film that was really bad. That computer game.
Warcraft. I enjoyed that film.
Warcraft.
I have to say.
Yeah, but that ruined his career, I think.
No, I don't.
He put his career on a back burner.
I think that film,
he was a major character in it.
Yeah, but the problem with that film was that it had too much money. Like, they needed some writers on there. They spent all the money on the special effects, and the special effects look really good considering the type of film it is. But the plot was just like, a child could have written this plot, bruh. Really, this is the best we've got. We just spent 200 mil on this film.
It was the Warcraft money. That's what it was. It was all about special effects rather than story.
And just to think that, I think, like, yeah, I just think, yeah, credit to him. But yeah, that was it. That was the Vikings crew there. There. So that's The Last Kingdom. The biggest, what was the biggest release? Senior year. What do you think of that, Dave?
Sorry, I was reading the text.
Senior year. What do you think of that?
I'll carry on reading my text.
No, senior year, Dave.
I'll carry on reading the texts. You talk about how bad that film was.
Senior year.
Yeah. She had She had nice veneers.
Right, so cheerleader ends up in a coma for 20 years and wakes up. Where have we heard that plot before? And it's a very cool movie, and it's meant to show the versatility of an actor. Now, one of the things that I find quite strange about Hollywood, especially when it comes to women, is this would never have happened with a male actor, right? That they would have felt the need to lose weight to improve their career as an actor. But she's gonna done it. I hope she's happy with doing that. But Rebel Wilson, who was she had quite a successful career.
Rebel Wilson has done some great films.
Yeah, and now she's taken
but
a lot
I
of
don't know
weight.
if she was because she was always the B actor in it instead of like the main actor. But this is
No,
the first
I
main
think she was
acting
just
film,
this
wasn't it?
quirky Aussie actress who came along and she was able to do really quirky characters, and she had lots of presence. Obviously, she was hardly.
She was always the sidekick. She was never the lead.
Yeah, I can't. So now, because she's lost weight, she gets to become the lead. That's so tragic, right? So,
because you think
Rebel
Pitch
Wilson,
Perfect, she was really good.
She's now in the senior year. She plays a character called Stephanie, who gets knocked out, and isn't. And in fact, Dave, she was the lead. She was in the lead in the film Isn't It Romantic?
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, exactly. And she wakes up after 20 years, and before she'd fallen asleep, she was a girl from Australia who went to an American high school, got bullied, decides to become the number one girl, becomes a cheerleader, gets the hot boyfriend, but then obviously falls into the coma, wakes up, and lo and behold, she wants to go back and finish her senior
You know what?
year.
It's a teenager's film.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's not an adult's film.
Is it?
I felt a bit old watching it.
Yeah, it reminded me of Mean Girls and
yeah, like Freaky Friday and all that sort of thing,
and films like that. I just think that it's really strange that it feels like she made a deal to do, if she lost weight, she gets to do this type of film. I don't know if it's going to work for her. Good luck if it does. I think she had a pretty illustrious career without it.
I think she was really good.
The only really bad film I see in the list of her movies is Cats and Absolutely Fabulous, the movie, because she's got some really good stuff in there. Night in the Museum.
Yeah, she wasn't really big in Ab Fab though. That's more Jennifer
Pitch
Saunders,
Perfect,
isn't
it? Grimsby, Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit, she was really good in Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, so I look.
Even as a Nazi, she was hilarious in that.
I wish her all the luck. I hope it works out. Senior year, it's an adequate enough movie. If you like a little bit of humor, you'll get it. If you like, if you're all right with the fact that, you know, it's weird as an idea. It's just cool, but I don't know. I just think
it's not for me. Again,
yeah,
I won't watch it again.
It's a date night movie. It's funny in parts, but I just don't get what
she seems to me like she's one of those actresses that they give her a script and then she'll like give them an answer with her wit, and that's when it's funny more than here's a script, just read it. You know,
funny though. I just don't find films.
She's
like
a naturally funny
funny
person, and I think because it's a script and they haven't let her do her own stuff, maybe.
That's the thing. I think it could have done with being a little bit more outrageous. Unfortunately, it comes along across as being like anti-woke, which is weird because there's nothing wrong with wokeness. And to come out and be like anti-woke, but at the same time poke fun at people who are anti-woke is interesting. But I think it could have been, if it was a lot more outrageous, and when I say outrageous, American Pie sort of Porky's humor than what it ends up being, because it ends up being really tame in the end. And I think that's a problem. Do you know what I mean? There's the comedy, most of the comedy in the past hasn't been tame.
You know what I mean? Like when all the magazines fell out, I thought, that's all that Dad's porno collection while she's been in a coma. And it wasn't. It was just like her. Your subscriptions that I kept on paying for them while you was in a coma.
That's what I mean.
Like, if that would have been like his porno mags when she opened it up, that would have been hilarious.
Or her porno mags from the 80s. Because apparently you hadn't watched it. It could have done with a lot more humor like that, a lot more sexy humor. And at moments, there was that at moments, but it was only at moments. And I'm very surprised they did the jokes they did, because they make some quite clear references towards blowjobs and shagging in it.
Yeah.
But they're mild references to it, and I think it could have just done with a bit more of that. Like even the A game, you had Mean Girls, and then you had the what is it? The A,
Easy A.
The Easy A had approached it better than they did, and so I didn't enjoy that much. But you know what? It's not a terrible film. It's for me. It's
watchable. It was watchable, but it's not.
Next up's definitely your one, Dave, because I haven't watched it. The Contractor.
Yeah. Chris Pine.
Yes, Captain Kirk. What's he doing?
Captain Kirk. Well, he's being a contractor. It's about an army man that gets fired from the army and then becomes a contractor in Afghanistan.
Oh, okay. Sounds
exciting. I can't really tell you the plot of what's going to happen because it gives away the whole story of the film.
Let me guess. Does he get
one of those?
Hold on. Let me guess. Right. I haven't seen it.
His friend recruits him, and then let's go from there.
Does he get betrayed?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, is he a bit of a bad boy that rebels against? Like, is he a bit rebellious?
No, he literally was like top of everything, fighting with a bad lung and everything, and they just got rid of him from the army.
Okay.
And then his friend said, "Hey, I know this guy that does contract work, and you'll earn tons of money because his mate's got a big house and cars and boats and stuff."
Well, you've got a meaty cast in this. You've got
massive cast.
Chris Pine, so Dustin Lewis, Regina, Dean LaFord, Corey Scott, Ben Foster.
It's a very watchable film. It's nothing you haven't seen before, though. You know, it's
Chris Pine is a very interesting one. He's had at least 3 movies released over the past couple of weeks. There was All the Old Knives, which I also haven't watched. They've tried to recast Chris Pine as a bit of an action hero. Well, I know he sort of is in Star Trek, but
but he also done that film with Henry Cavill, didn't he?
Which one was that? I've got.
Can't remember what it was called. It might not have been him actually.
Well, I'll give you a few things he's done. So since he's done Star Trek, he's done Steve Trevor. So, where are we?
All right. Well, he done Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Jack Ryan, Wonder Woman. He's
See,
going to be
Jack Ryan,
doing
I didn't like, but I
Jack
liked.
Reacher. Sorry, Jack. Is it Jack Ryan or Jack?
No, Jack Ryan.
There's so many Jacks.
Jack Reacher was Tom Cruise.
Jack Ryan, yeah.
But then someone didn't the other one do Jack something? The guy that played Fantastic Four.
Yeah, he's done Jack Ryan, but it was a TV series.
Yeah,
so
and that was a lot better.
Yeah. So he's done Wonder Woman. He's done Wet Hot American Summer, which I still haven't watched. That's on Netflix. Out the thing, I think one of the projects I liked him in most recent over the past couple of years was Outlaw King, which is on Netflix, which is quite good, where he plays Robert the Bruce. And he also done the voice of Peter Parker in Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh no, it was This Means War. It wasn't with Henry Cavill. It was with the other English dude, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, so I find it quite interesting that he doesn't seem to, even though he does a lot of action stuff, hero roles, he doesn't seem to have sort of reached outside of his sort of fan base, if you will.
Oh, The Finest Hours, that was quite good.
I haven't watched that one.
It's really good. That's on Amazon, I think, if I remember right.
Okay. He doesn't seem to have broken out of that sort of fan base. So if you put a movie out there with him in it and he's a lead, it doesn't seem to like take up with the audience.
I think he looking at his years of what he does, he's just like, hey, you got a job for you. Yeah, I'll do it.
But he's a good actor. I liked him in Wonder Woman. I liked him in Love Him in Star Trek.
Yeah,
liked
really
him
good
in
Star Trek.
Outlaw King. And I think, we'll see what happens. He's got another Star Trek lined up. We don't know when that's
starting. It's not a bad film. It's just you've seen it all before.
Yeah. All right. Well, what can you do? What else came out? Jackass 4.5. I watched the whole thing. It is much more of a documentary.
It's a documentary of Jackass Forever, isn't it? Basically.
Which they was trying to sell it like it was.
But they were selling it like it was going to be Jackass Forever coming out, and it wasn't.
Yeah. That'll probably be out on Paramount.
So I watched both of them on the same day.
That reminds me, Paramount.
And there wasn't much difference between the documentary and actually Jackass Forever. To tell you the truth, I think it's gone past its sell-by date. It's a shame because at the time it was good.
It was funny, and I think now it just seems like they're brutalizing each other for no particular.
That's it. It's just literally just brutalization now, isn't it? It's
because that poor new guy,
that little fat man was getting battered.
Yeah, what he does was when he got the tennis ball hit 100 mile per hour tennis ball.
Yeah,
and then
you didn't see the rest that they've done. They've done like baseballs and stuff as well.
But it just seems like a frat party that should have ended.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like one last payday, isn't it?
But I assume with Paramount Plus they will all be going because they're Paramount.
Dickhouse Productions.
Jackass. Yeah. The other thing, so I'm sure we've done a review of Chip and Dale, didn't we, in the last show?
No, you told me you was going to watch it.
Well, I watched Chip and Dale, Chip and Dale, Chip and Dale. No,
I did start to watch it, and I thought this is going to be too childish for me, and I turned it off.
It's not, and this is a strange thing about it, and I'm really surprised that it went the direction it did, because Disney, like, they do some stuff in here. I was like, is this a Disney sure they're all right with this? Because basically it reminded me, after like a 20-year hiatus, don't worry, it's not senior year, after the show ended.
No, sorry, I can't remember what I watched when you was watching that. I was watching Ghostbusters.
Chip and Dale, basically, Dale and Chip come back together, and then the adventure kicks off again, and the whole thing's just taking pokes. Like, I don't know if Disney quite get what they've done with this film, because this is a film about exploitation of properties and characters and people and cartoon characters in particular, and it takes a poke at how they're exploited and left to rot half the time.
Oh, what? So they were thrown into this show and that show, and then they had their own show, and then it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
And my God, what they do with Peter Pan, I was like, you really, Disney, you're okay with you're all right with that? And I was just like, I was blown away at how much fun it was to watch. But just that Disney allowed them to do this, because it's raw. It's got all it was missing is some swearing, and I think it would have possibly grabbed a more adult audience. But this was like, this is harsh, and especially as the surprise appearance of Ugly Sonic, I was blown away.
How they managed to get that in?
I do not know how they managed it, but Dave, not only did they get Ugly Sonic in this,
wasn't Sonic Sony as well?
Yeah, they use Ugly Sonic so well, and it's not like they go, "Oh, it's Ugly Blue Hedgehog." They go Ugly Sonic, right? And it's not like they use him so well in this. I would have watched it if not only for this. And it's superbly done. And credit to them, they follow through on that joke continuously in this film. And it's not highbrow entertainment. It is still very much a kid's film, but it's got lots of adult humours in there, and it works really well. And I think I give them credit. I really enjoyed it, and I would give it 8 out of 10 straight away without fail. It's a straight out of 10 for me for Chip and Dale.
That's probably your best rating for the year.
Because it was so funny. It brought back so many good memories. And do you know what? I wasn't even that much into Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, but this made me want to go back and watch it. Big mistake, don't do it. And
Rescue Rangers, but that's when they had the Hawaiian shirts and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it was Magnum PI, wasn't it? And Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But I just think it worked really, really well. It was quite nice to watch it. And I think, like I said, the humor is really, really good in this. And I'd recommend it to anybody, especially if you've got kids. Just chucking in fun.
So you're recommending it? I might give it a watch then.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a big risk by Disney, but it works really well.
Okay, 8 out of 10. It's quite high. It's a big risk from you.
And yeah, that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dave, is there anything else from you?
No, like I said, I just watched Ghostbusters when you was watching that. So
okay,
I didn't mind that. That was okay.
We've definitely run over.
Not bad, because we had nothing to talk about.
We always do. Why? Because
we was only going to do half a show.
Dave, Night Rangers, CJ and Dave, what a danger. Because we're CJ and Dave.
Yeah.
Do you like
that?
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Big Dave, thank you for joining me on another journey as we bring all news and entertainment your way.
We're literally going on a journey this weekend.
We are going to be at Comic-Con in the XL in East London, so join us if you can. I'll be journeying down there. I think I might even be able to sneak on via the Elizabethan line at some point to check that little sucker out.
Well, I was thinking we could actually take that there.
Yeah, it stops right there. So we'll be coming on the Elizabethan line, but hopefully we'll see some of you there. There are some big changes coming to the new establishment. The website has shut down for the time being, but your links will be redirected soon, so do not panic. It will be back at some point. But when we make more changes to the new establishment, that will roll up.
We're going to grow up.
Yes, when the website grows up.
Oh, yes.
But we'll be making some changes as we go forward to the new establishment.
Yeah, we're going to hire and fire people.
We'll still be updated via our Facebook page, Twitter feeds, via Instagram, and soon, hopefully, TikTok. We have and the podcast will be coming thick and fast, ladies and gentlemen. So the new establishment is not getting weaker, it is getting stronger. And the boys from Bossk is a big part of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll join you at Comic-Con or next week for the next edition of...
Are we going to do next week? Because it's like it'll be a big celebration.
What big celebration?
They've got like 10 days off work.
Who has?
We have.
Who?
Like massive bank holiday weekend, isn't it?
Who's got 10 days off work there?
Oh, me.
Yeah, exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back for another edition of the Boys from Bossk Jubilee edition. So, ladies and gentlemen, join us next week for another episode of the Boys from Bossk. That's a good night from me.
And a good night from him. I've seen that before somewhere, right?